Hey folks, what's happening? Welcome to today's live stream. I hope everybody had an awesome new year and we're beaming in to the new year with some good stuff here. Today we're going to talk about how you can get massive improvements in your picking dynamics instantly by using something that you probably may not have thought about or may not be hip to, which is you can get your dynamic controlled with your guitar pick. Okay? And it's kind of like a secret to a degree with, volume and tone. Like you can massively improve your volume and your tone and more articulation in your picking just simply by how you use your guitar pick. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter what kind of pick you use. I happen to use these Jazz 3 picks. I like them a lot. Okay, they're pretty cool, they're small, they're ergonomic, they work for me, but regardless of the guitar pick that you have a preference to using, this technique that I'm going to show you right now is going to work, okay, with any guitar pick, all right? So, let's just get right into it. Now, most folks, when they think about dynamics in their playing, they generally think about picking, just simply picking harder or softer. Now, yes, that is true, like how hard you pick or how soft you pick, yes, is obviously going to pull dynamics into your playing. Okay, that's cool and everything. However, there is another way. There's more than one way. There's a couple of different ways that you can use the pick itself without having to worry too much about how much you vary the amount of pressure that you're playing your notes with, okay? Now let me explain. With the pick, you have a couple of different surfaces or a couple of different edges, okay, is more accurate. You have the pointy part of the pick here, right? That is the intended picking point, basically, of the pick, but also you have the edges, these rounder edges where basically we're usually putting our finger over that part of the pick, right? But these rounder edges here, okay, on both sides. Well, there's a dynamic secret in here with the pick, and it's by using these different points of your pick, basically, because even though it's a rounded edge, you can still look at this as a picking point. Okay. Now, the one thing that you're going to notice when I do some examples right now is that when you use the pointy edge, point that is intended to be used for picking, there, you're going to get a brighter and a bit of a louder and more clear kind of sound coming through, okay? And I'll play some scales just so you can hear what I'm talking about, right? Here's A major. Okay, so picking things in A major, right? But now check out the difference when I go to the softer edge. I'm going to go now to the softer edge here, okay, of the pick. I'm going to pick with that. And you're going to hear immediately that you get a softer response. It's a little lower in volume, okay? I'm going to pick with the same intensity that I did before, but you'll hear that it's not quite as loud, and it's smoother and kind of warmer, okay? So there's a tone thing going on here too. It's not quite as bright, it's actually warmer, right? So, tone secret, okay? Right, now I'm going to go back to the pointy end of the pick. You can hear it immediately, right? Now, whatever you do, with the pointier edge of the pick, that is basically the part that most of us will use because that's the intended point to play with and pick with. Gives you that more articulation. It's a little bit brighter, it's a little bit louder, cuts through a little more. But if you want to soften up your dynamic instantly, just rotate your pick over to the smoother side. And you can hear that it's a lot smoother, sounds warmer. And it also works not only on single note things, you know, right? Which all your favorite licks. If you want a little more pop, you know, you use the pointy end. But what if you want to pull it back a little bit without having to mess around with guitar volumes or the amp volume or anything? Right, that was the smooth edge, and now go back to the pointy edge, right? Smooth edge, pointy edge, smooth edge, pointy edge. So you can hear it immediately. Okay, and how about with your chords, right? With your rhythm work, right? Well, it works for that too. You want to have a little more brightness, a little more kind of push, a little more punch in your rhythm. Use the pointy edge, right? But if you want it to sound a little bit smoother, kind of cut back, not have to worry about messing around with guitar volumes or messing with the amp or anything, roll it over to the smoother edge and it will back it down a little bit and it'll warm it up too. It'll make it a little warmer sounding also. To get a little more punch in there, you can go back to the bright, say, maybe a little louder, maybe just because it will give you a slight volume increase, but it's also just going to be clearer, a little clearer, not so warm, a little brighter. So right there, just using the pick without altering your pick at all. I mean, just the way the pick is made, just using the way the pick is all by itself, by understanding, you know, you got the pointy point that you can use and the smoother picking edge that you can use. You get instant dynamic control, okay? And this will come in very, very handy, especially when you're playing with other people, or maybe you're out at the open mic, or you're at a band rehearsal, or you're playing a gig. Okay, and it's like, you know, you're saying, oh, I just want to cut back my volume a little bit, but I really don't want to mess with the amp because it's good for other things. But right now, I just need to kind of step back a little. Well, if you're using the pointy edge, right, the point part of the pick, just roll it back over. And actually, Stevie Ray used to do that anyway. He used to play with the softer edge of his pick for a lot of his things. You know, and it does sound different. You can hear it. It's an instant change from the pointy edge to the smooth edge. Okay, so that is it for today's live stream. You'll get serious mileage out of just messing around a little bit, exploring the possibilities of the dynamics that live right here inside of your guitar pick. And you don't have to go changing the pick you use or anything, because this will work with any guitar pick. It's a universal tip. Okay, so hey, you know what? If you dig my videos and you like the lessons that I'm doing out here on YouTube, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm doing lots of live streams now, and and tell a friend, somebody who's into, can use some cool guitar tips like this. Let them know about the channel. And other announcements, I have new music out there. Hey, check my stuff out. It's really cool. I have links to my music down in the description. You can check out my Bandcamp, and keep in mind, buying or streaming my music on Spotify or buying a track of my original cool music that is out there on Bandcamp does go a long way. to help me continue to bring awesome video and lesson content out here for everybody out here on YouTube. Okay, and until next time, stay awesome, have fun with your guitar picks, and here's to better dynamics in your guitar playing. Okay, we'll see you next time.